If you're spending your evenings explaining him to your friends, you already have the answer. You just haven't let yourself have it yet. There is a very specific vocabulary you've built to describe this thing you're in. We're just seeing where it goes. He's not the label kind. It's complicated. We have something real, even if it's not conventional. He's just going through a lot right now. Every one of those phrases is doing a job, and it's not the job you think it is. It isn't honesty about ambiguity. It's a translation service your brain is running in the background, so you don't have to feel what you'd feel if you named the thing you're actually in. Sit with me for 10 minutes. I'm going to show you the exact translation your mind is running when he leaves you on red. I'm going to walk you through the 3 physical locations of a woman who's being kept. Because being kept looks like something, and once you can see it, you can't unsee it. And I'm going to close on the grief nobody has ever given you permission to feel. The one that comes from ending a relationship that officially never began. None of this is about convincing you he's a bad man. This isn't about him. This is about the architecture underneath why you keep saying yes to being an option while calling it love. I want to do something a little unusual for a moment. I want to show you your own translation in real time. He leaves you on red for 11 hours. Your body registers the panic. Your mind, trained to protect you from that panic, immediately runs a translation. It says, he's busy, he's stressed, he's overwhelmed with work. He cancels the plan on Friday. Your body registers the ache. Your mind translates, he's just been going through so much lately, and he's finally comfortable enough with me to be honest about needing space. He hasn't introduced you to a single friend in 6 months. Your body registers the strangeness. Your mind translates, we have something so private, so ours, that letting anyone in would ruin the specialness. He posts a photo from a Saturday night event you weren't invited to. Your body registers the sting. Your mind translates, he doesn't want to complicate things by making it look public before we're ready. Every one of those translations is doing the exact same job. It's protecting you from a single sentence you cannot afford to feel yet. I am not a priority to him. Because if you felt that sentence, really felt it, in your body, all the way through, everything you've built around this connection would collapse in an afternoon. And your nervous system has decided, without asking your permission, that the collapse is more dangerous than the situation. So it translates, this isn't stupidity. You are not naive. You are the opposite of naive. You're running a very sophisticated protective loop that a lot of women, myself included, have run for years. Your intelligence isn't being wasted on him. It's being drafted into keeping you from knowing what you already know. And underneath every one of those translations, there's something even more painful. A quiet, ancient belief that's been running you longer than any relationship. I have to be grateful for what I'm being given, because asking for more would risk losing everything. That gratitude for crumbs isn't generosity. It's a fawn response, dressed up in a nice sweater, mistaking scarcity for intimacy. Let's get concrete, because concept doesn't move a nervous system. Geography does. If you want to know where you actually stand in a man's life, you don't have to interrogate him. You don't have to demand a conversation. You don't have to read a single one of his texts a second time. You just have to look at 3 places. 1, his feed. Where do you live in his public life? Look at his Instagram, his LinkedIn, the story he posted last weekend. Are you there? Not as a shout-out, not as a birthday post. In the ordinary photographic evidence of a normal weekend. Are you casually visible? A hand at brunch. A shadow beside him at the bar. A face in the background of the group shot. A man who is proud of you does not carry a version of his life where you don't exist. He doesn't have to announce you, but if 6 months in, you have never once appeared, that isn't privacy, that's cropping. And you cannot love someone you're being cropped out of. 2, the map of where you meet. Look at the pins on the map of your dates. Are you in his neighborhood or always in a neutral one? Are you at the restaurants his friends go to or always at the ones 20 minutes past them? Are you in his apartment on Sunday afternoons or only after 10 p.m.? On a Tuesday? The map tells you the truth, even when the words don't. Because a man who is building something with you brings you into the geography of his ordinary life. A man who is keeping something away from you meets you in the shadows of it. 3. The timing. When does he text? When does he propose plans? When does he see you? Is he in your morning or only in your after dark? Does he suggest coffee at 3 on a Thursday or only drinks at 11 on a Friday? Does he weekend with you or does he only weeknight? The hours of your relationship are more honest than any conversation you'll ever have with him. Weeknights are convenience. Weekends are choice. Mornings are life. Late nights are compartment. If, when you actually check, you are living in the after hours, in the neutral neighborhoods, and in the invisible feed, I need you to hear something. You do not have a relationship. You have a location he's willing to meet you in. Now for the part that nobody prepares you for. When this ends, and it will end, either because you finally ask, or because he finally drifts, or because you can no longer live inside the translation, you're going to feel a grief you have no language for. And that grief is going to look, from the outside, ridiculous. You can't post about it. You can't say we broke up, because officially there was nothing to break. You can't ask your friends to sit with you the way they would if this had been real, because in their eyes, it wasn't. And a small, cruel part of you will agree with them. Will look at the ashes of what you're mourning and think, did I make this whole thing up? You didn't. The relationship you're grieving was real. It was real in your body. It was real in the hours you spent thinking about him, the imaginary futures you built, the way your entire nervous system organized itself around him. What was fictional wasn't your love. What was fictional was the version of him you kept hoping would show up. You are grieving the man he could have been if he had chosen you. You are grieving the mornings that never happened. You are grieving the version of yourself who almost got the ending she'd been waiting for since she was 7 years old. That grief isn't proof that the relationship was real for both of you. It's proof of how much of yourself you gave to a relationship that only existed on your side of the door. And it deserves the same respect any other loss deserves. You are allowed to cry. You are allowed to spend a Sunday under a blanket. You are allowed to write to him and not send it. You are allowed to whisper, to no one in particular, I really loved him. Because you did. That love was real. It just never had a place to land. The exit from a situationship isn't a breakup. It's a burial. And every ounce of dignity you give, that burial, is dignity you're returning to the woman he never knew how to see. Here's how it ends, if you want it to. You don't need to leave dramatically. You don't need to write a manifesto. You don't need to summon strength you don't feel. You just need to ask one clean question, once, without editing. Where do you see this going? That's the question. That's the only one that matters. Not because his answer will be honest. It may not be. But because in the split second between when you ask and when he answers, you will feel something in your body that will tell you the truth, even if his words don't. If he pauses too long, if he shifts, if he starts explaining his season of life to you. If he says something that requires you to translate, you have your answer. The translation itself is the answer. If he answers cleanly, warmly, without a single hedge, he will step into the light with you. And you'll know, in a single second, which one it was going to be all along. You are not asking to trap him. You are not asking to force something. You are asking because you deserve to spend the next chapter of your one life inside your own truth, not inside a translation your nervous system has been running for months to protect you from a sentence you were always strong enough to hear. Ask, not because the answer will save the relationship, because the answer, whatever it is, will finally free the woman you've been holding on hold, in the after hours, in the shadow neighborhoods, in the space between a location and a life. You were never his backup plan. You were the entire plan. He just didn't know how to be the man who lived inside it.